Hey, it's Drew King, Hidden History New York. Today we're going to take a look at the Hutchinson River Viaduct. If you've ever been down past exit 12 on the Hutch going through Westchester County between Mount Vernon and Pelham, you may have never known that there was a massive steel structure that used to cross the highway. And today we're going to find out what exactly happened to it and what it was all about. Today on Hidden History New York. To preserve or not to preserve? Today we begin our episode walking off 3rd Street in Pelham across Wolf's Lane. As we cross the Hutchinson River into Mount Vernon, you can see how the river and the highway in front of us here creates a common border for the cities of Pelham and Mount Vernon. That highway, the Hutchinson River Parkway, is a 4-lane highway that transverses from the Whitestone Bridge in the Bronx all the way to Greenwich, Connecticut. As we walk into the tunnel, we can see that it allows easy access to the Hutchinson River Reservoir. This is a small lake that has been used for a park for well over a century. This tunnel, like most other out-of-the-way spots in the city, has provided a canvas for budding street artists and taggers. As my hunt for street art goes, most of this is pretty lowbrow stuff. Now, I would never suggest vandalizing a public property, but what a great place for a mural. Maybe even telling this story. Today's history lesson. The Hutchinson River Viaduct was erected by the American Bridge Company between 1910 and 1912, and it stretched across Wilson's Woods Road by a plate girder bridge and then across the parkway and the river, linking up to where we had parked the car back at 3rd Street in Pelham. From there, the town of Pelham was split in half by a massive embankment holding the 25-foot or so grade into the now long-gone, massive 5th Avenue station. As we break free of the tunnel, the site comes into view. This site in Mount Vernon contains the last evidence of what that embankment in Pelham looked like, and is the sole artifact left of the Hutchinson River Viaduct. While this is a unique piece of history hidden pretty much in plain view, most people wouldn't hop on a plane or take the day off from work to check it out and don't expect to see people doing a family photo in front of it. No, this isn't Mount Rushmore by any means, but these monolithic retaining walls and the surrounding pile of dirt stand as a silent monument, a mute sentinel to the commuter history of Westchester and suburban life at the turn of the century. You see, J.P. Morgan's $1 million railway was no doubt built to last the ages, even though it barely made it past 25 years. And as we have seen at other sites, only the neglect of time has led to its slow decay. As we walk around the mound, you can see the sheer size and start to appreciate the anger of the many people in Pelham and how they felt when the railroad essentially sliced the neighborhood right in half down 3rd Street with a similar-sized mound, keeping that elevation to the long-demolished 5th Avenue station at around 20 to 25 feet. Some would even suggest that it altered the class system and the development of the town as well. I would be furious, to be honest, if I lived there. But New York has a history of being sliced in half. Just consider I-95 through the Bronx for a moment. So we're left with the burning question. Where did it go? Even in New York, you don't just misplace a 700-foot steel viaduct. You see, the IRT system took over the trackage rights and continued service to Dyer Avenue, just south of Mount Vernon in the Bronx. Today, that's known as the number 5 train. Due to the debt collectors wanting to get their money back out of the New York, Westchester, and Boston, and their bills had to be settled, there was no future planned service for the line, and doom was on the horizon for everything north of Dyer Avenue. And with war raging by 1942, the United States needed to arm up on an epic level. You see where I'm going here. The War Production Board purchased the rights to salvage the steel for the war effort, and shortly thereafter, the Metal Reserves Corporation began cherry-picking the carrion of the old NYW&B, removing track, bridges, and gantry towers to build ships and bombs. And like that, it was gone. Oh, they left stations, they left embankments and mounds all over Westchester, but real estate development has seen fit to erase most of that evidence. So what is left is what we see here today. The citizens of Pelham got their wish nearly 4 decades later, when on July 14, 1952, heavy equipment owned by A. D'Angelo and Sons went to work on the huge pile of dirt and rock that separated 3rd Street. And 3rd Street would once live again, and you could see the sun rise and set without the shadow of the defunct railway in your living room. So what is the point? As I sit atop Mount Vernon and look down at the roadways and all the people milling about, I am washed over with a somber thought. In 2017, this humble mound gives us a point of reflection. If you appreciate the context, does this become perhaps an unintentional memorial to what we lose when we build barriers? And as I peer north into Pelham, I consider for a moment, maybe it's what we gain when those barriers fall. I'm Drew King for Hidden History New York. Thanks for watching. Blake Bell, a local historian for the town of Pelham, has written an excellent article on his blog Historic Pelham about the battle over raising the 5th Avenue station, the Highbrook Avenue Bridge, as well as the embankments and the viaduct, etc. Please take a few minutes and check it out. I'll include a link in the description down below. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like and share. We really appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe so you can find out about what's coming up next week on Hidden History New York. Thank you, and you have a good day.